Hello, this is Tammy, and I am live. Super excited to be here today. This is, I think, day 6 of 30. Matter of fact, I need to put that in the chat so it'll be there when let's see. Day 6 of 30, day live challenge. Okay. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. So, this is day 6 again of the 30-day live challenge, and today I'm coming live because I wanted to ask y'all a question. So, when you realize, what was the day like when you began to realize who you were born to be? Because the one thing that I'm learning on this incredible journey, and it is an incredible journey, and I'm taking y'all with me. But the one thing that I'm learning is that when you begin to discover who it is that you were born to be, and then when you begin to see how to get there, because what happens is many times is you will learn who you were born to be. That'll start showing up to you. You'll start to look at some of the ways that you thought in the past. And I say thought in the past because I'm talking about limiting beliefs. And so you'll look at some of those beliefs and you'll start seeing patterns. And one thing for me, I started really noticing patterns in my life as I started diving in and studying me. And so this is the journey that I'm on as well, is diving in and studying me, learning who I am and what it is that I want, and actually honoring myself on every level. And so that is the path and the journey that, I believe is worth it. Because it's like, maybe you didn't understand and know who you were. Maybe you jumped out the gate really quickly. I have a lot of sisters that, they started having babies really early, and nothing wrong with that. But what that does is it doesn't allow you to have time to understand and get to know who you are before you are somebody's mother, before you're responsible for other people's livelihood. You're responsible for making sure that people eat and that they have clothes and that they have a roof over their head and all this stuff before you even know who you are. And so that is, to me, it's like an unlearning, and it's like unlearning and remembering journey. It's like I'm unlearning the things that were limited beliefs that I learned in the past. Y'all know I love my tea. And so unlearning and remembering, because the thing of it is everything that we are is already inside of us. And many times what it is we have to learn that. Number one, we have to learn that it is inside of us. And then number two, we have to learn how to tap into it and how to actually open up the acorn, how to actually open up the things that are inside of us that we already know. Because, the news flash is that this is probably the first life that you know, but it's not your first rodeo. And so there are things that we know, and also things that were passed down in our DNA, in our cells, in our nervous system. And these days they talk a lot about trauma being the thing that was passed down in our cells and in our nervous system. But it's not just trauma, it's everything. All kinds of things are passed down in our nerves, in our nervous system, all kinds of things. So it's not just, it's not just that. It's that. It's that. So, so, so anyway, the journey for me, when I began to really understand and know, who I am and who I'm put here to be, and who I'm put here, what I'm put here to do. And it encompasses all the areas of your life. So it's not just, a lot of times we think it's just about our career, our job, our business, that kind of stuff. How we make our money, our livelihood, and all that. But it's not just that. It is who you are as a soul, who you are on the inside. What is your purpose for humanity? What are you here to do? Because so many times, people, I know a lot of people that are mothers, and that is what they were put on earth to do. And they are mothers to their heart. Children grow up and they do like foster care and all kinds of stuff because they just are mothers, and that is their identity. And that's okay if that is who you are. For me, motherhood was one of the most phenomenal, amazing things that I did in my life, but it wasn't what I was put here to only be. I was put here also to be those children's mother that I mothered, and even some other children that I mothered that I didn't give birth to. I was put here for that reason, but that wasn't the only reason. And there are a lot of people that are actually finding this out. Many, especially mothers, I know, as your children start growing up and you realize and they need you less, and they, respond less, then a lot of times, a lot of women start having real issues, with releasing, because really it's what we have to do as parents. We have to release our kids. And I talk to people about that all the time. Love them. I love my kids. I do. Love them. I love even some of the children that I have, had occasion to be able to speak into their life. I love them. However, that's not the only thing that I was put here on the earth to do. And when that started showing up for me and I started seeing that, and I said, because I actually was never that person, I honestly could have gone my life without having any kids and I would have been all right with that. The fact that they're here, that's wonderful, and I love them to pieces. However, if there was a way to go back and they asked me, I would have probably said no. And no shade on anybody, but that's just how I felt. But the thing is when I started recognizing and realizing that so many things that I believed were the things that were limiting me, from being all that I can be. I'm going to take that from the Army. Be all you can be. Army strong, as they say. And as my husband would say, but go Navy. So, so anyway, but I'm just grateful, for this space of being able to just step back and say, you know what? I'm going to take some time and I'm going to journal, because that is one of the steps that you want to do when you are in this space of discovering who you are and what it is that you want to do. And, even in your life, because what's happening now is a lot of Gen X's and boomers, we are coming out of different work areas that we were working, and a lot of us are switching to do other things. A lot of us some of us have are fortunate enough where they can retire from whatever they were doing, but some of us are just walking away. Many of us are just walking away because we just can't do whatever it was that we were doing. Maybe it got to the point where it's just too much, as in my career. It's just too much. They just want too much. I feel like they want to suck my soul out, and it's time for me to release that. But for me, I had to actually sit down with myself and go into some deep prayer and meditation. And I say prayer and meditation. I had to go deep and really begin to go into some deep prayer and meditation and create a ritual of release for that thing, because I had to release some things that maybe I wasn't sure how to release. Because many times we'll call to things and things will show up for us and we'll be given instructions, limited, of course, instructions on, what to do, or being guided to do something. And then we don't do it, and then we wonder why, we didn't get any type of shift in our life, or things didn't change to the level that you thought they were going to change. Because why? Because you didn't take the required action. And the thing I learned actually when I was in meditation today was the reason why we don't take the required action is because, dun dun dun, we don't believe. We don't believe. Yep, so we don't take the required action because we don't believe. That's the bottom line. And here's the thing. You can think about it in this way, like, when we went to church and they said, "Oh, you got to have faith." Yes, I have faith, I believe. But when you do believe and when you do have faith, then you'll do the things that you're being guided to do. You'll say the things that you're being guided to say. But what happens is you allow fear to creep up and stop you and block you from doing those things that you've been divinely guided to do, taking the inspired action. Why? Because you don't believe that the thing is going to happen. If you were being guided to go to the store and get a lottery ticket and you don't go get it, then that's on you. That's on you. It's like, it's like that joke where the guy said he got to heaven and he's like, "Well, God, why didn't you help me?" And God was like, "I sent you a boat. I sent you a plane. I sent you a golden goose. You know, I sent you a train. I sent you a person. I sent you all kind of things. It was your decision not to accept those things. You made a decision not to accept those things. And that really is what happens a lot of times with us. We continue to say these things that don't help us in our life. We continue to stay in places that we need to release and let go because the time now, especially after this powerful ass eclipse we just had, the time now is to release that which no longer serves us. So if it no longer serves you, then we have to let it go. And I'm just as guilty as everyone else, y'all. I'm preaching from the choir because I've been working on clearing out some spaces in my office, and it's been taking me a little while, and I was like, why is it taking me forever? And so I had to sit myself down and say, okay, well, do I believe I can do this? Because what I'm doing is totally outside of the realm of the skill set that I believed that I had. But guess what? I shifted my belief because I actually put together the desk. And I am not a put together type of person. That's usually not something that's in my skill set. Typically when my kids were growing up, my daughter was our put together person. My ex could do some things too, but my daughter mostly put together everything, like all the furniture and all that stuff. She put all that together because, her mama, that was not in my skill set. But I have been challenging these limiting beliefs, and that was one that I challenged, was that I could actually put something together. And so I put together the desk. And I was so proud of myself because I put that desk together. I didn't ask for any help. I was actually waiting on my husband, but it was taking him weeks. And so I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and do this because I can do it. Because I believe that I can do anything. And I believe that I can do all things through Christ who gives me the strength. But I believe that I can do anything. But that's a belief that I actually stepped into and began to embody just recently, like in this year. I was like, you know what? This is what I'm going to say. Because I believe that for years I went to church and I was a non-believing believer. So I believe to a certain level and point, but not everything, But now I have gotten to this place on this journey where I believe that God can heal anything, that anything is possible, and that I deserve everything that I am supposed to have. That I am worthy. That is the space. But you know what? It doesn't have to take forever to get there. It just depends on, what you believe about yourself and how long you've been believing that. And that really isn't even true either. It doesn't matter how long you've been believing it. Just as long as you identify it and decide that it's not no longer serves you. And as you begin to do that, and as you begin to create those scenarios in your life that do serve you. So when you destroy a belief that no longer serves you, then you have to put one in its place that does serve you. So if you are saying that, I could say that I am able to put things together. That isn't my skill set, because that I was saying before, that wasn't in my skill set. And I will tell people that too. It's not in my skill set. I can't do that. And so now I can say it isn't my skill set, but don't get crazy. Don't be coming over here talking about, can you help put this together? Because no. But yeah, so just something as simple as that. It's like, changing the way that you think about yourself and really beginning to see, you for who you really are. Because really, when you think about it now, we look at ourselves in these skin suits, and, I don't even know what we're supposed to say about that. However, I'm going to probably land this plane, and I want to just say that, when you are ready, when you're really ready to begin to discover who you are at your core and really dive deep into studying you, reach out and send me a message. Get my attention. You got my details are probably in on the about section, I think, of my page. So you can find, I think my email might even be in there. So you can email me, or you can drop a note in the chats, in the comments, and tag me. I do try to go back and look at those comments. But yeah, so yeah, that's what's up. So I'm doing a manifesting magic workshop coming up here in the next couple of weeks. So please be following and paying attention. And I would love it if you would smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so that you'll get notified when I come on with new content. And I also would love it if you would follow me on TikTok at Intuitive Tammi, where I go live and talk about all of this stuff. I was talking about the frequency of abundance, and I'm going to continue to talk about that and what that means, and even some of this stuff that I just talked about here, about really understanding and learning who you are, and actually changing those limiting beliefs, and actually identifying them and shifting them, and even creating rituals around what it is that you desire. Okay. So, and anybody can create those. You can create those, create them by how you feel. That it's not a hard thing, you know. So anyway, and it's just something that will help you to commemorate, help you to move forward in that, and that's really kind of how you want to look at that. So again, thank you for hanging out. I also have subscriptions on TikTok at Intuitive Tammi, where I'm looking for subscribers, and it's $2.99 a month. And I'm looking for subscribers because once I get to at least 25 subscribers, I'm going to start doing subscriber only lives where we do meditations, we do healings. We can actually, I can actually answer questions through channeling, readings, all that kind of stuff. Just do like a Zoom call. And we'll do that. And if we do it on TikTok, we'll do it on TikTok. And that's how that'll go. But that's something that I am super excited about, my subscribers. But it's $2.99 a month. And you can even get a cup of coffee for that from Starbucks. And you get a whole month of me for $2.99. And you also get, of course, access to me, where you can ask questions. I also have a Telegram community as well that you can also join. But I have also a Conscious Healing Hub membership community that I'm looking for founding members for. That is going to be opening in the next month. I'm so excited about that, y'all. But that is going to be a space where we're going to jump on a Zoom call monthly and get in there and really dive into some healing. I'm going to have some trainings as well in there as well. But I don't want it to be like super, super packed so that it's overwhelming. But I want just enough for you so that you have what you need. So again, and then if you are looking for any type of healing sessions, you can send me a message or comment in the chat. And then I'm also doing Passing the Pearls, which is my multi-author book about our grandmothers. And I'm super excited about it because it is a space and time where we will get to honor the legacies of our grandmothers. So if you have a grandmother story, you had an amazing, time with your grandmother, I would love it if you would reach out and let's write this book, because my desire is to publish this book this year. I really want to publish it in the next couple of months. So I'm looking for probably 4 to 5 more people to come in and join us in writing the stories about our grandmothers. So again, thank you for hanging out. I really, truly do appreciate um, your time. And thank you for watching. And make sure that you come back tomorrow because I'll be doing day 7 of this 30-day live challenge. So again, thank you for hanging out with me. And like I said, you can follow me on all the other platforms as well. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram a little bit. But I'm more so on TikTok and YouTube. Those are the main platforms that I'm on. I'm also on LinkedIn as well, but I don't go on there that often either. So again, thank you for hanging out. Bye now.